Good morning, race fans, and welcome to the Mickey Thompson NRRA Round 6. We are at Good Evening Ranch in Canvas, West Virginia this weekend. This weekend is presented by RaceLine Wheels. Welcome to Hillside Live, everybody. We're glad that you can join us here. We are excited for a full day of racing action. Matt, why don't you tell us a little bit about what classes are running today and what we can expect to see out here?
Yeah, again, we're super excited. Today is the big dogs. Today is the Rock Bouncers. We also have our UTV Bounty Series, which is going to be crazy. Again, we have some gnarly courses. Again, some of this course will be the same as yesterday, the first half essentially. So we'll see about the first half of it very similar than we see a lot of the UTV Cup and the UTV stock class on. They're going down around that big loop, big jumps. And then we have these monster hills behind us that caused a lot of problem for a lot of people yesterday or last year. So I think it's going to be very interesting. We've seen a lot of speculation. We've all chatted about what our game plan is. And no one really knows 100% what to expect until they watch the first couple of guys go, and then they're going to kind of formulate that game plan, kind of get adjusted, and go from there. Right now we have a beautiful overcast sky, like 72 and sunny. So there is the second course. Again, that's the second hill we'll be going up on the second course, and it's super, super gnarly. Again, you can see a very wooded area, so nice shade. So we at least get a race in the shade today. And right now it's a little bit of an overcast, but it is amazing right now. Wonderful weather. We have a little bit of a breeze, so definitely enjoying the weather right now. And again, all the racers are out here packing in.
This is a nice change of pace from the Tennessee humidity that we've been experiencing, or I've been experiencing at home. A lot of us have in our home states.
Illinois humidity is like when you could cut with a knife. It's pretty brutal.
Yep.
And there's the production trailer, big American flag on top. You can see all the racers down there in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen.
So we had a great day of racing yesterday. We ran our Rock Life UTV stock class, our Super Grip UTV Cup class, and then our VIN class. Tim Cameron took the win in the Cup class. Dylan Dowler took the win in stock, and then Charles Curris in the VIN class. But it was a great day of racing. Not too much carnage. I mean, all things considered, at least for here.
Yes. No, it was a very mild
with
day,
the West Virginia Rocks. I know we did have Dylan in the Cup class finished the race with 3 wheels still attached. The Kaysen brothers both had some unfortunate breakage with their buggies, but definitely all in all a good day of racing, and we're looking forward to more of that today.
Yeah, again, Sons of the Big Bouncer, I think, having bigger wheels, bigger suspension, a lot more travel. Again, a lot of guys running trailer arms with a lot more travel suspension in the rear. I think you're going to see some of the guys with the smaller stuff have a lot less problem. They're going to push a little harder, a little faster. With the course behind us, again, that's going to be a toss-up. I think some of these hills are going to cause some problems, and we may have some extended recoveries. Hopefully, I think most guys are either going to, if they can't make it, they'll back off pretty quickly just because they want to save the car for that second course of the day, since we do have 2 gnarly courses. But we saw some surprises last year on that second course. A couple guys, again, flying through there. Mark Carpenter flying through, literally corkscrewing the air, landing upside down.
There were definitely some aerial tricks going on.
Yes.
They were not intentional.
Yeah, so
but,
it was.
But entertaining nonetheless.
Yes.
So I guess we'll find out how much of that level of entertainment we get today. We only have 1 skinny pedal nomination from yesterday, and that was Dylan Dowler. Losing a wheel, finishing race anyway. That was definitely some good stuff.
No, and there were several of us talking afterwards. A lot of times you have that front end that starts digging in hard, and we were saying, man, you could have turned around and backed out. And he said that was the plan. He said, I think being that we lost that much weight and the motor's in the back, he said the front end's pretty light, and he said I had a little bit of a bump that was causing me to wheelie. So he said I think I can wheelie through a lot of that. He said if I couldn't, I was going to whip around and just drag it back through. And he said at least with one tire you can still halfway steer. And drag it out, get completely out of the course, and so he's still planning on getting a finish out of it. So, still planning on getting a finish out of it, and that was kind of cool, kind of exciting. A lot of people in the crowd were talking about after his run, like, did you see the guy finish no tire? Especially some of the people I think that have never been to a racing event like this before were like, they were very blown away that you could just drive a vehicle with 3 tires on there. Like, yes, you can.
If you want to bad enough.
Yes,
sure.
Yes. And again, those points, being able to get those points made a big, big difference, especially, like I said, we saw, several handful of guys, on like the Cup Series, 2nd place, 4th place, and 5th place on the first course, DNF'd or didn't even start on the second course. So that's, again, Timmy had a lightning fast time on the first one just because of the way that the rest of the podium chopped out from first course, second course. Just him finishing bumped him to the podium. And then, obviously, with a couple of people having slower times, put him all the way to the top spot. So he ended up winning the Cup Series yesterday, which was, again, we had talked about that morning when you walked up to do some interviews. We were talking. I said, I think a lot of guys are going to have issues breaking stuff. Again, with the bouncers, not as much as the smaller cars. You're going to see some guys break stuff. I said, honestly, if you can just get a good finish out of both, you're going to end up on the podium. And he said, no, that's my plan. He said, Mr. Consistent, come out, be steady, be smart, make some good choices, really hammer down and really get things taken care of. And obviously it worked out for him. Ended up on the top spot of the podium. So.
Yep. And we did, like Matt mentioned, we caught up with Timmy before the race yesterday and got a little interview with him. So we'll share that with you guys at some point today. We'll work that in so you can see that as well. Yeah,
again, unfortunately, we're probably going to have a few recoveries today. Like I said, some of these bouncers are probably going to end up on the side down or on their side. Again, Chris Griggs, I was talking to him, and he said, yeah, we had to put some new motor in there. I was like, some new motor parts. He's like, yeah, we blew it. Apparently, last time when he landed upside down and tried to upright it didn't go well. He said 6 of the 8 broad bearings.
That was a Bobby Tanner move right there. But motors don't always like the Bobby Tanner moves.
They don't appreciate that. No. And I said the thing is, if you can keep the momentum, once you roll over like that, if you can gas it and spin it a little bit, you can keep the momentum. Again, that centrifugal force can keep the oil in the pan so it can keep picking it up. Unfortunately, once you roll over and then kind of gas it, the oil is already gone.
Not quite enough.
What's up, everybody? Appreciate everybody tuning in. Bub Meadows, Jody Kaprinski, Will Bell, Chad Gill, Danny tuning in. I spy my Jeep. I see that. Getting that drone shot looking awesome.
Thanks for checking in, guys. Let us know where you're watching from. We like to see where all of the racing fans are. I know Bub Meadows. I know where you are.
He's literally over on the rock there.
All right. I think that we are just about ready to get started here and kick things off with our UTV Bounty class. As always, Bounty class runs the same course as the Bouncers, which means that it's basically the toughest stuff that we can throw at the
really
UTV class. Sorry. Oh, my gosh. A bug just landed on my head, and it was a big one.
Look, it was a big one.
These West Virginia bugs don't play. Speaking of West Virginia, we are at the Good Evening Ranch in Canvas, West Virginia this weekend. Real quick, a little about this park. One of the things that I like about it is it caters to both kinds of horsepower lovers. From the actual horses, they've got an indoor riding arena, an outdoor arena, horse boarding. So that means it's basically a petting zoo around here, and there's a mini donkey, and there's goats, and there's horses, and I'm loving it because I get to go love on all the animals after a day of racing. So that's a pretty good combination to me. It's 400 acres here. They've got cabins, campsites, a banquet hall, a covered arena, and then, of course, all the off-road trails as well. So, and we're having some great temperatures.
Oh, yeah. Again, I love this weather right now. Again, a little bit of overcast, so you're not blasted by the sun. And right now, nice cool breeze. It was heavenly last night. It was amazing.
Yes.
So I will take that any chance I get.
Richard Hodges. Yeah, guys, I see the screen is doing something weird right now. Taylor is on it, though. So y'all give us a second to work on that. Technology. We're going to have Nathaniel Bell coming off the line first to start us off for Course 1 of the UTV Bounty class.
Got Justin getting him pulled into that starting gate.
And if, as always, we are recording, so if the video doesn't decide to behave, we will be able to post that, and you guys can always go back and watch that later as a backup. But Nathaniel Bell out on the course now, kicking things off for our second day of racing here for the NRRA Round 6, making that giant boulder
look easy.
Man, I tried to walk down that thing earlier, and it was not easy, so...
Again, me and a handful of drivers down here last night. I was playing around on it, and again, it's definitely going to bottom out a few guys. So I think you're going to have to do it with speed. Again, this speaking of speed, look at this awesome shot here. This high speed section. I think we're going to have a lot of fun. A lot of racers are going to get out there and enjoy it. Again, this is Nathaniel Bell out on the course now. Again, you can see that groove definitely worn in there from the drivers yesterday. This is a very, very treacherous rock section again. Take your time, be smart, don't end up with any breakage.
The live feed looks like it's shut down, Taylor. And Nathaniel Bell was coming into this weekend, or is coming into this weekend, fourth in points for the Bounty class with 328. He was also on the third spot on the podium at our last race in Hawk Pride a few weeks ago, so he's definitely got some momentum coming into this weekend.
I like that you said momentum coming this weekend as he's like blasting, as he's ripping through the course.
Little double entendre for you there.
It was well played. Again, really looking at this. And he's out the top. There we go. This is a big, big drop-off here.
As always, guys, you could see kind of by how he cautiously approached that.
Yes.
The hills and rocks are much steeper in person than they are on camera. So to keep that in mind when you're like, man, this doesn't look that bad. Why are they talking about it like it's so terrible?
All right, we have our first finisher.
$125.944 for Nathaniel Bell, our first driver of the day. We are on course 1 of the UTV Bounty class. If you're just joining us, racing in Canvas, West Virginia at the Good Evening Ranch this weekend.
I don't think we're live, Taylor. Okay. Yep, thank you. Austin Connell on the line out there. And our RaceLine starting gate there. Again, Austin raced with us yesterday and put this buggy through an absolute beating yesterday. We were chatting last night about how low his belly was and just pegging those rocks. He said, it is low. He said, but I don't think it's as low as people think it is. He said, but I definitely felt some of those rocks yesterday.
I think everybody did. Justin Hoback, we rode down in the WT this morning from the campsite, and he told me that he lost his skid plate on the big, the boat ramp rock out in the field.
Wow.
He didn't even know until afterwards, and someone came up to him and it's like, hey, you want your skid plate?
He's like, what?
It fell off out there in the field. This rock right here.
He's like, see what happened was.
That's why we have skid plates, though.
Yes.
Austin making quick work of that short course section. We have a really long course this weekend. If you guys missed the action yesterday, it's one of the longest courses that we've done. I would say probably ever.
Yes.
Definitely this season. And I like it because it's a nice mixture of the technical rocky section, but also they've got that speed section out in the field. So keeping our drivers on their toes today. Got a little bit of something, a little bit of everything worked into the course here today. But, man, these rocks are no joke. We were walking around in the woods checking out the course, and, it's not even easy to hike through there, let alone pick your way through in a buggy.
No. And, again, picking the line here I think is just very epic. This actually started out not bad last year, and as the day went on, it got much, much worse. So I think that you're going to see it start out pretty good today, and it could deteriorate till it'll be very rough later on this afternoon.
I'm thinking that Austin might be deciding to save the buggy.
Yeah, again, we got 2 violent courses we're racing today, so saving the car might be the good play here, because if you can save the car and get some points on the second one, where, again, some of those bounty guys, these guys obviously are racing the same course that the rock bouncers race, and it's just absolutely incredibly gnarly out there. They're checking it out. He may have broke something in the front end. Got Justin over there in our RaceLine starting gate.
All right, we've got Madison King on the line now in her brand new rig. Yesterday was the first time she's brought it out and raced with us, or raced at all.
Yes.
In it. She had a couple of great runs yesterday, and has not had much seat time in this buggy yet. I know they've been putting in some work on it, and she's had a busy schedule with school and stuff lately. So I think yesterday was the first real seat time for her in it. A little bit of pre-running, and then 2 courses, and she did a great job.
Yeah, it was
definitely looking comfortable in it.
It was kind of funny when she was like, "Yeah, I've been still in school," and I was like, "Oh, that's so cute." Getting ripping out of that RaceLine starting gate.
I believe she's in cosmetology school.
Okay.
So she's a lady of many
talents.
I hopped right up on that rock pretty easily.
So it looks like there's some.
I think she's up in that tree now.
Yeah.
Though.
You can definitely see all the scrape marks where guys have bottomed out here. This park has We Rock events as well, which is a rock crawling series. So very technical, very skilled. I always explain. People are like, they always say, "Oh, you drive that rock car." So I drive a rock bouncer.
Yeah.
Rock crawling is very skilled. It's very technical. It's like chess. It's very methodical. It's very calculated. Rock bouncing is more like UFC. You know, it's more like you get in there, and sometimes you have a plan. Things don't go according to plan, and you just have to manage that kind of dumpster fire until you get through the course. Okay. You know, you might have a wheel hanging off, as we saw yesterday. You know, or lack of a wheel. The wheel may leave the chat at some point.
We don't call it rock bouncing for nothing.
You know, so
it got that name for a reason.
So great shot of that woods course, all those rocks in there. Again, definitely very, very gnarly. Again, like Bree said, Madison had this car out yesterday. That was her first time really having an out race. They did some shock tuning, and she said it definitely feels dialed in, so she's very, very happy about that.
I know she was excited to have it. This new rig of hers has hydro steer, which she did not have on her last rig. And like Matt said, the suspension was something she was definitely looking forward to. And it's also a little bit wider body, so she said her old buggy had a tendency to feel a little tippy.
Yeah.
So these are, oh goodness.
Wow.
So those were some of the upgrades on that she's looking forward to on this new buggy. Oh, she did take out a flag there, unfortunately. She's trying to work her way back into the line that she wants to take through this course. I can hear the crowd cheering from here.
And as she's pulling off the course, you can see Nathan, her brother, in the background pulling up there. And thanks everybody for tuning in. We're out here at Good Evening Ranch for the 6th race of the National Racing Association. That was Madison King, who just ran at a 155.469. 155.469 for Madison King. And yeah, this is the 6th race of our season, again, presented by Mickey Thompson. This race is sponsored you by RaceLine Wheels. Again, check them out. Like I said, I know a lot of guys run the 17s and the Rock Bouncers currently. We have most of the Ultra 4 guys are on a 17 as well. And if you're sponsoring Rock Bouncers and Ultra 4 cars, your chances are you're pretty durable. As you'll see today, just very short away when some of these guys start thrashing through the rocks and hills. So, like I said, we're doing the UTV Bounty Series now, and here shortly we'll be kicking off with the Bouncers.
All right, guys, for those of you that have found the new live feed, we are back up and running. Some technical difficulties, so thanks for bearing with us. You didn't miss too much. We had Nathaniel Bell was our first run of the day, and he had a 125, and then Austin Connell was a DNF, unfortunately, and then Madison King just made her run with a 155.469. Can't quite see who we've got in the starting gate there. Thank you guys for joining us here this morning on Hillside Live, and for bearing with the technical difficulties. You guys can make sure you're watching from the Rock Racing TV Facebook page or YouTube channel. That way Matt and I can see your comments, answer your questions, and interact with everybody in one spot. We are here at the Good Evening Ranch in Canvas, West Virginia this weekend for the Mickey Thompson NRRA race number 6 this weekend, presented by RaceLine Wheels. We have a cold course right now. We're waiting on getting some vehicles shifted around. So
again, we appreciate all of our drone work today. Thanks to Dearborn Drone Co. Shout out to those guys. You saw some of the awesome drone footage a minute ago.
Yeah, we're definitely spoiled with the drone footage the last few years of racing. It's a game changer for the live feed, especially when we have these long courses like we do out here this weekend. I hope you guys appreciate all that lovely drone footage the way that we do.
Yeah, we appreciate those guys.
All right, looks like everyone's starting to find us over here on the restarted feed.
Even Chad found us on there.
Even Chad Molitor, look at that.
Danny says enjoying from the RV today. Must be nice. Probably sitting in the air conditioning.
I don't blame you.
Eating some snacks, some snacky snacks. Kenneth Cole is there. What's up, Kenneth Cozine?
We are waiting on getting some vehicles shifted around out here. Taylor, could we run our interview with Madison? Since Madison just made her run, and we were talking about her brand new buggy that she's debuted this weekend. We did catch up with her on the hill yesterday before the race and just chatted with her a little bit. So we will get that queued up, and you guys can check that out while we're waiting.
Cooper walking by. He's so cute. He's a little guy. Again, Ford play. I see the Ford play buggy over there. That's Jay Storts.
I asked Jay what he thought about,
how
he was feeling about the rock side here. This year, last year was a little, West Virginia was a little rough on Jay Storts, and he said he just couldn't keep it steady speed.
Yeah, and then he took it to Timmy, and Timmy put a new fuel management system on there. So they should have it pretty dialed in as of now. So hopefully it'll go very well.
All right, guys, so we're going to save that interview because we are ready to go ahead and continue racing. So we'll show that to you a little bit later. You can hear from Madison about her new buggy. Casey Howell is on the line now. Casey had a second-place finish in our UTV Cup class yesterday. He's also coming into this weekend third in points for the UTV Bounty class with 329. And he had a first-place finish at Hawk Pride a few weeks ago in the Bounty class. So things have been going pretty well for Casey.
Again, you can see a lot of guys had to stop and have some trouble with that tree right there. Again, that long, fun course there. Again, you can see that high power section there. A lot of guys have had really, really good time with that. Again, very high speed. At the same time, it's been a lot of fun. You can watch them get out, really open up the buggy. And then they're coming right back into just, again, very violent rocks right there.
We've got Robbie Tidwell tuning in, said he's enjoying watching live. Couldn't make the trip with his favorite racer, Alston.
Oh.
We have Alston on our list for the bounty class today as well.
Yeah. You're gonna hit that with more speed.
He was flying into that and still kind of bucked the front end up a little bit. I see Matt up there at the top. We'll see what's going to go. Oh,
there
out the
is.
top he goes.
There you go. All right.
Again, carefully.
Oh! If you haven't realized how steep that drop-off is yet, hopefully that was a good little example for you.
I see Jay over here. He's just like standing there just peering through his glasses. Just watching everybody.
There you go. That's a
145.983 for Casey Howell.
145.
Wow.
Casey Howell.
Nathaniel Bell currently in the lead. This is course 1 for our UTV bounty class. Nathaniel with a 125, now followed by Casey Howell with a 145, and then Madison King with a 155. Nathan King is on the line, and he is running for Josh Krapinski's points today. Josh is sitting in second place in points coming into the weekend, so I'm sure he's glad to have Nathan out here continuing to collect those points for him.
Again, taking his time, being smart, but at the same time being quick.
Making wise choices.
Yes, making wise choices. You really do. At this long of a course with this many technical issues, you really do need to make some wise choices. Almost looks like he has a flat tire. No, I guess not. Coming off there, it was like drifting a little bit, like, yeah, flat, I thought.
Well, we've definitely seen some flat tires out here
Yes.
already this weekend.
You can watch him just thrash through the woods there. Ooh. There's a little bit of a ramp. What
Denied.
you can't really tell is there's a little bit of a dirt ramp going up to it, and then you start to drop down right at the base of all those rocks. So right here, he drops down, and then you have to kind of buck back
Oh.
up. I think he's out. There we go.
Oh, a little sketchy.
It's so sketchy.
All right, Josh Krapinski, I think this is a run that you can be happy with.
Yes.
Your stunt double did a good job.
119.650.
That is our new
Wow.
leader here on course 1 for the UTV bounty class. That means pushes Nathaniel Bell to second right now with 125, and then Casey with 145. All right, well, looks like that's it for course 1 for UTV bounty. We are going to run to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll give you guys that top 4 rundown, and then we'll be ready to move on to the bouncers, so stay tuned.
The Mickey Thompson Premium Mud Terrain is on the road and full of undisputed attitude. The Baja Boss MT. No compromises, ever. We are purpose-built tires for truck and Jeep enthusiasts everywhere. All mud tires are not created equal, and here's the proof. Powerfly XD construction, asymmetrical tread design, extreme side biters, and more. Find your tire size today at MickeyThompsonTires.com.
No matter where your ride takes you. Whether it's a quick trip or a slow climb. When you choose RCV Performance Axles, you're guaranteed to finish every time.
All right, guys, a quick rundown of our top 4 from UTV Bounty Course 1. Nathan King, running for Josh Krapinski's points, had the fastest time with a 1:19, followed by Nathaniel Bell with a 1:25, Casey Howell with a 1:45, and Madison King with a 1:55. So that was a quick first run for UTV Bounty, and that was our rundown. We will be right back with all the bouncer racing action after this. All right, welcome back, race fans. We are ready to get started here with Course 1 for the RCV Axle Bouncer Cup. It's going to be a great day of racing here at the Good Evening Ranch in Canvas, West Virginia. This is round 6 of the Mickey Thompson National Rock Racing Association this weekend, presented by RaceLine Wheels. You can see we've already got a great lineup of bouncers there coming into that rocky chasm in our RaceLine starting gate. Connor Flynn is on the line, going to be kicking things off for us. Matt, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, again, we've seen a lot of racing here before. These courses are going to get gnarly fast. There's lots of big rocks. We have a high-speed section, so guys are going to have to transition from that super rocky, kind of slow-paced, have some control there. They're going to have to transition from that into that high-speed section. High-speed section, be flying along, and then go right back into that rocky section again, which is kind of a fun breakup, but at the same time, you have to really be smart about it. Again, that was kind of Timmy's plan coming in to it, so we'll see how that goes, and hopefully everybody has a great day and keeps it on all 4 tires.
Hey, I know we're going to have a great day watching regardless,
yeah.
And I hope you guys at home will enjoy it too.
Yeah. Looks like we got a RaceLine starting gate. There's Justin getting ready to kick us off. Connor Flynn sitting in that starting gate.
Yeah, he said you're going to the end. You look like a racer, though. You're all dressed up.
All right, I believe this is Connor's third race with us here this season with the NRRA, and I think he raced with us once last year as well. He's done some racing in other series and definitely is making a name for himself out here. It's been a lot of fun watching him so far this season.
It's about to get exciting. All the horse pressure lined up.
Here we go. Clock is hot. Connor ripping out of that RaceLine starting gate. Getting Connor Flynn on the course right now.
And he is already moving into the short course section out in the field, up and over the RaceLine ramp.
That is a super clean looking buggy. That red just kind of pops off that cage.
And it's unique because it's a rear engine bouncer.
Yes.
And that's the only one that we've got out here racing with us this weekend. And really, we don't see them out here that often.
But
so.
Timmy's new one's a rear mount engine.
Oh, well, it's okay. The newest one that we've
Yes.
seen out here in a while. So the drivers are going, basically making the same loop. They're coming through, going through the field's short course section, back through the same exact section of the woods, and then going into this new rock area, the secondary rocky section that they're going to have to make their way through today.
Again, you can see those guys checking up through there, coming, and again, definitely smart there. There's no sense in thrashing through those rocks, especially if you're going to come down and have to get halfway set up for that big hill. It's very, very smart to just take a second, pause.
That was easy.
All right up that first ramp,
There you go, Connor.
easing on down the second. Things are looking good right now for Connor.
All right, Connor 17.
Y'all remember that these rocks and these hills are so much bigger and steeper in person than they appear on camera. Connor's doing a great job picking his way
Great
through the
job.
course, and there it is.
That was a 117.017 for Mr. Connor Flynn, and actually made it look pretty easy.
Of the day, Connor Flynn.
Connor's also one of our youngest drivers out here in the bouncer class today. I believe at 17.
Yeah.
Showing some of these a little more experienced drivers
What to do.
what to do out here. It's always tough being the first one off the line, not having the benefit of watching other drivers go before you. So awesome run from Connor. If you're just joining us, that was our first bouncer run of the day. We are on course 1 of the RCV Axle Bouncer Cup class.
All right, I hear we have Mr. Tim Cameron sitting in that RaceLine starting gate. It's so cool to just see the front end. And so to see him just kind of peering out of those boulders looks just so, so cool.
Tim Cameron, definitely a household name in the rock
Yes.
bouncing world. If you've been around for more than 10 minutes, then you have heard of Timmy Cameron. He's actually, there's a whole fleet of TC-built buggies representing
Holy
out here
cow.
today. I think we've got 4 TC-built buggies that are racing today.
We have debris like flying into the trailer as some of these guys are taking off. It's absolutely incredible. Getting watching him make quick work of that rock section, coming out and just going to hammer down. He is just flying through there.
Timmy is
Airing it out.
coming into the weekend sitting very comfortably first in points with 482, followed by Cooper Bentley at 449, and then Daniel Heckley at 436.
You notice he was flying super fast around there and held up a little bit right where that tree's at. You have to go through 2 rocks. They're about as wide as your rock bouncer, and they're pretty good-sized rocks. So slowing up, checking up is definitely the smart move to make there.
This is absolutely one of those courses where you can't just go flat out pell-mell the whole way and hope for the best. You've got to know where to check up and where you're going to put your tires to get through these rocks.
Again, yeah, it's kind of the smart thing. Again, you can hear him throttling that on and off the gas there, kind of just ripping through there, but definitely not just blasting through. Again, want to try to save the chassis. Don't make a stupid mistake and end up busting a knuckle or something. Again, looking here, trying to pick his line.
And there it was.
Making quick work of that sucker. Again, walking in, dropping down. Ooh, buddy. And then kind of side.
Oh, no!
No!
What?
Oh, there he goes!
Saved it!
Oh, my goodness! Everybody was on their feet. Absolutely bananas. Holy cow.
Oh, man, that's some wheeling right there.
Holy cow.
And through the finish line.
Oh, my goodness. What a wild run by Mr. Timmy Cameron. He may have, it looks like he may have a bent rim. I think he's leaving the course to go check it out.
Oh, man, I thought we were going to see a second Timmy DNF for the season, which is pretty much unheard of. That was a wild ride right there. Let's go to a quick replay presented by Rock Racing TV and see that again. He cut that corner really sharp, and it almost ended badly for him, but, man, he was able to save it. I have no idea how that just happened. That kind of defied physics right there. But, man, he made it through the finish line and still got a time of 108.011.
Wow. Yeah, wow. He was screaming up until that point. Wow. Wow.
Woo, exciting things happening out here at Good Evening Ranch in Canvas, West Virginia. This is round 6 of the Mickey Thompson NRRA. Thank you guys for tuning in with us here on Hillside Live and hanging with us through some technical difficulties. Connor Flynn had a run of a 117. He was our first driver out the gate today, and then Tim Cameron just had a pretty epic save and a time of 108. We are on course 1 of the RCV Axle Bouncer Cup class. Chris Grigg is sitting on the line now.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was a crazy Timmy run. And he immediately left to right. He has a lift in his trailer. He is going to absolutely, I promise you, put that thing on the lift and go through it over. Go through that thing with a fine-tooth comb, check all the bolts, check all the nuts, check all the sensors. He's going to look at oil pressure, everything. Definitely go over it.
All right, here we go with Chris Grigg in this wide-open design buggy. He was driving something a little different out here last year.
He was.
Wasn't he, Matt?
Actually, it was this.
I think
it was the exact buggy, but it was literally just finished. And he had.
It was a whole different version.
Yes. It looked completely different than this right now. Definitely feeling good, and what a difference a year made for this driver and buggy. Both have made a lot of changes over the last year, both the buggy and the driver.
All right, Chris making quick work of the short course section out in the field. Coming back through, they have to go back through the same exact line through the woods as they did on entry. Chris had a little bit of a wild run out here in West Virginia last year. And we'll see how that year of seat time has done for him and this buggy.
Oh, I think he's out the top.
Looking pretty good so far. Oh, missed your turn.
Yes.
Come back.
Oh, that's, such a violent hill to come down. And again, after watching Timmy roll over, I guarantee you he was probably like, okay.
That ain't happening to me.
We're going to take a break and make sure we make some good decisions here. That was a 129.428 for Chris Griggs.
Oh, man, the buggies are rolling by. Can feel the horsepower. It's a good day of racing here.
It's so exciting.
At the Good Evening Ranch.
Excitement and energy is in the air right now. It is so much fun. Again, we got Daniel Bowman and Tyrant.
Speaking of some horsepower.
Pulling up the line there. Again, this is another wild man driver. Definitely done some stunt driving. We've seen this buggy do some stunt driving with him before.
Daniel Bowman pulled off a 4th place finish at Hawk Pride a few weeks ago for our last race.
And our season opener, he ended up on the podium. He, which was funny because I said it means a lot to me just because he came up. We were chatting a year before that, and that was our season opener. He said, "I don't care if I go so slow. I got to use my turn signals at the turns." He said, "I'm just here to have a good time," and it was.
What a difference a year can make.
Yeah. It was just so neat to see a driver with such a bad buggy. You know.
And this is one bad buggy. This is one of the TC built, the fleet that's out here racing today. Up and over that SCS climb.
Again, just thrashing through those rocks there.
And I walked through this course this morning, guys. I can tell you that it's the rocks are just so much bigger than they look on camera. Everything in there is rougher than how it looks right now. These guys are really making it look easier, honestly, than they should.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that's just a testament to the level of driving that we have out here at these events.
Coming back through. Again, you have a choice there. You can go around that big rock, and it's a lot probably easier on the buggy, easier on you, or you can try to go up and over, which may be a little quicker, but it's a lot more violent. So, again, guys have the choices they're choosing. Again, coming around the production trailer again.
Getting a little hung up between the trees and the rocks there. Between a rock and a hard place, if you will.
I knew that was coming, Bree.
I think that's kind of the theme of the weekend out here.
Oh, there we go. Just horsepowering it out the hill. Ooh!
Oh,
wow.
And a rough sudden stop down there at the bottom on that giant boulder, but looks like everything's still good.
It is crazy to see how just intense these guys are coming down that hill.
And that's a 126.535 for Dan Bowman. All right, guys, we have had 4 drivers so far on course 1 of the RCV Axle Bouncer Cup class. Tim Cameron's in the lead with a 108, even after a pretty epic save he made when he ended up on his side. And then we've got Connor Flynn with a 117, Dan Bowman now with a 126, and Chris Grigg with a 129. Clint Garrison on the line now.
Again, Clint, been very consistent this year. Definitely ended up in that top 5 a few times. Again, being very, very. Look at just make a quick work of that hill. Again, absolutely incredible drone footage from Dearborn Drone Company this weekend. Appreciate those guys and all they do for us. Lucas back there, man in the battle station.
Getting rowdy out there.
It is.
Up and over that RaceLine ramp. Everybody's staying pretty smooth on that. Nobody's getting too much air off it today.
And again, you can see right there's those 2 rocks where you really have to choke down and take your time. But you've also seen a lot of guys in that big jump go kind of far right to that. I think it's a little bit easier transition on that far right. Getting ripping through there.
Clint definitely known for some just good, smooth, consistent runs. He doesn't tend to ride the ragged edge or get real wild, but just, always can lay down a good, smooth, fast pass.
Man. And you see guys kind of bucking up and have to land back down, settle, and then kind of get into it. Luckily, we've seen a couple guys, have enough horsepower to kind of rip through. Clint taking a little bit more time dropping in, have a little bit smoother exit out of that hill. Ooh!
Whoa.
Still getting on 2 wheels coming through there.
There
wow.
It is.
115.116.
And that's a second place time right now. Like I said, Clint known for those good, smooth, fast passes. That means Timmy Cameron in the lead still with a 108, and then Clint now with a 115, followed by Connor Flynn, who was first out the gate today with a 117. Nick Reich on the line now. Nick coming all the way from Wisconsin. Man.
16-hour drive.
What a commitment
Ripping
to the
out
sport.
Mr. Fordzilla himself.
Up and over that super grip step up.
Again, he's just blazing through those rocks.
He's outpacing our drone right now.
Woo! And you can watch. So you can watch that Wooly Bully channel that Nick has. He does recap videos. He also does a lot of off-road stuff on his channel, so check him out. Does a great job promoting his buggy and all he does. And again, those guys of Wisconsin will have a lot of fun. I know he has some buddies. They go out recreational wheeling quite a bit too. So Nick's a great guy. He brings a semi-trailer and a semi-truck to every event. It's incredible. But
I mean, if you got to drive from Wisconsin for all these events, you got to come prepared. You got to come fully loaded.
He has bunks in his trailer for some of his guys, so it's very cool to see. You can watch him use that rear steer whipping around that corner there.
Nick had a second place finish at our last event at Hawk Pride a few weeks ago. Looks like he's definitely carrying some of that winning momentum into this weekend as well. He's got a really great run going right now.
Ooh. Again, that's a chromoly chassis, so much lighter weight than a normal DOM chassis. Again, able to do. I love watching him jump. Him and this chassis.
Oh.
No. He's had some motor issues.
He's through the finish, though.
With his heads. He's had some head issues. Again, oh, man. The front of the buggy's covered in oil right now. Again, I'm not sure exactly what happened.
He did get a 118.286. Great run from Nick Reich.
Wow.
DC, it is definitely tight between these rocks out here.
Cooper Bentley sitting in that RaceLine starting gate. Again.
Cooper Bentley, who took home first place in the bouncer class at Hawk Pride a few weeks ago. He's also coming into this weekend second in points behind Tim Cameron. Timmy's in the lead with points this weekend, coming into this weekend with 482. Cooper behind him with 449. And then we've got Daniel Heckley with 436. Clayton Smith with 411. And Nick Reich with 402. Those are your top 5 in points coming into this weekend in the RCV Axle Bouncer Cup class. We are not quite halfway through course 1 of the bouncer class.
You can hear that buggy just purring back between those rocks. You can hear it just echoing. All right, we hear clock is hot. This is Cooper Bentley. Justin, give him the countdown.
Oh, come. So there's a couple of trees right at the top of that super grip step up.
And you want to be real careful with those trees.
Look like he might have had to finesse
Whoa.
his way around one of those.
Whoa.
Uh-oh.
He got real squirrely there.
Was that just a bad bounce?
Well, all right. So there's a ravine there. There's a ravine there, and they filled in with rocks. But it still can kind of buck you if you hit it just right.
Oh, unfortunately for Cooper. Looks like he's back on track. Oh, man, and nicked one of those rocks. They have to pass between two. You guys have heard us mention them earlier. There's 2 rocks out in the field, and the path goes right between them. We got a little bit of pinball action today from Cooper, but I mean, he's still on track.
I was trying to watch.
Let's see if he can finish strong.
I was trying to watch his rear suspension to see if something is loose or to see if maybe his rear steer wasn't working, but it looks like everything's still intact properly.
Man, sometimes the rocks just come out and grab you, Matt.
They do. They do. And
your best laid plans don't always work out.
It's like Mike Tyson said, everybody's got a plan until they get hit in the mouth, you know? Thank God.
All right, and it's looking like Cooper's still going to be able to finish with a solid run here.
There we go.
All right, way to stick with it, Cooper.
That's a 118.165, literally 1/10 of a second
Man, that
faster.
just shows you how fast he was moving. Even after a little bit of a bobble out there in that short course section, he was on par with Nick Reich's run. They both have a 118.
Yeah, 1/10 of a second faster than Nick Reich. Literally, after 118 seconds, he's a 1/10 of a second faster. All right, we got Jay Stortz sitting in the starting line. That Ford play buggy racing out of that RaceLine starting gate.
All right, I know everybody is holding their breath just a little bit on Jay's behalf. Last year here at West Virginia, man, he had a rough go of it. Motors were damaged.
Things were damaged.
Things happened.
Yeah.
So hopefully that is not in his head too much right now.
Yeah. Again, just ripping around that corner there. Looks like he's got that left bank, that driver's side engine smoking a little bit. Looks like a lot of guys are going around that big rock. I thought we might have seen.
It seems like the move, at least from here
Yeah.
on camera, because you can still keep your momentum. You don't
Yeah.
have to stop and crawl up over it, and it doesn't really seem to be costing much time.
No. And again, with the potential breakage there, getting hung up on there and breaking something, I think a lot of guys are, kind of being smart about it.
With a course like this, anywhere that you can
Save the car.
save from some breakage, minimize the rock damage, you got to do it.
Again, that motor still smoking there. Oh! And he pulls it out the top. Heck yeah.
He's hanging with it. He's just taking care of a few of the mosquitoes out here
hey.
for us while he's at it.
Oh.
Whoa, Jay.
And Jay is definitely going to go around that and not make the
He
same
said,
mistake
I am
twice.
not getting stuck on that rock again this year.
Yes. It seemed like the motor was only smoking, was under a really, really heavy load there. So, but again, he has a new fuel management system on this for this race.
.132.000 for Jay Stewart's in Ford play. Tim Cameron still in the lead with a 108, followed by Clint Garrison with a 115, Connor Flynn with a 117. We've got Cooper Bentley with a 118.1 and Nick Reich with a 118.2. Those are your top five right now. We are halfway through course one for the RCB Axle Bouncer Cup here in Canvas, West Virginia at the Good Evening Ranch. Enjoying a great day of racing for the Mickey Thompson NRRA Round 6 this weekend, presented by RaceLine Wheels.
What's up, Sean Keller? Cody, what's up, Danny? Appreciate everybody tuning in to live feed. Kara Bowman, that's Dan Bowman's sister, doing in. Yeah, DC. So it's tighten those rocks for sure. It really is. It really is. And it's just such a hard, intense thrashing, Got Justin over. You can see he's moved a little bit out of the way of that RaceLine starting gate. I think because they were throwing rocks at him as well. He's also over there with all of our youth racers.
I don't blame him.
We've got our youth racer rigs all scattered across that hill with the WT sitting behind him. Is that Brandon Davis sitting in the starting gate? I see the A-arms hanging out there.
I believe it is.
Being that independent front suspension. Also a TC built chassis. Brandon Davis is also our current season champion right now. Again, at the end of the season, we will crown a new one, but
yeah, Brandon also had a great day of racing yesterday. Pulled off a second place in the UTV stock class and third place in UTV Cup.
I saw they had 2 trophies there.
This Buggy Menace is definitely a crowd favorite. Has a lot of fans out there. I mean, for good reason.
Yes. Here to just rev up inside. Again, we were talking about his extremely low belly plate on this. Again, being the independent front suspension. He's going to have to kind of up that right there. He's going to have to kind of monster truck it up that.
And he did just kind of hop right up that super grip step up.
where a lot of guys might be able to just kind of go up to it and crawl up it. He's going to have to kind of back up and monster truck it a little bit. And then once he hits the wide open, he can kind of just rip it through there. Again,
All right, up and over that RaceLine ramp. He's halfway through the short course section. Is this his third or fourth season racing Menace now?
Probably third.
Man, time sure flies.
Yeah.
When you're having fun, especially, right?
Yes.
And we do have fun out here.
Jay walking by us, probably feeling good. Get that done. Good Brandon in the Menace out there just ripping through there.
To you guys watching this on screen, it might seem like they're kind of picking their way through there a little slower than you would think for, these big old high horsepower buggies. But
Wow.
I can tell you, when you're in the driver's seat,
Yes.
it feels like you are
Lightning fast.
cruising.
Yeah.
And you're just, pinballing off the rocks, trying to pick your line, trying to remember the smoking that
Jeez.
rock right there. That's all right.
That
It didn't slow him down
bulkhead-
too much.
That bulkhead is built very, very well. Yeah, and again, like Bree said, flying through there, you're dodging rocks and trees and just trying to keep the buggy going is the best forward momentum you can. That was a 141.653. Looks like he also picked up a rear flat tire. Again,
Yeah, a minor casualty.
yeah. Getting them all backed in there. So we're getting down to where we only have a few racers left, it looks like.
Our current top three, still Tim Cameron in the lead with a 108. Then we've got Clint Garrison with a 115 and Connor Flynn with a 117.
And we haven't seen Tim Cameron come back down yet. I know he drove away, so we know the buggy is there, 100%, but might be going again, just maybe change the oil, look at, check everything out, give it a good once-over.
Yeah, if you missed it earlier, Timmy obviously had a smoking fast run coming in with a 108, sitting in the lead right now. We've got a quick replay here for you, presented by Rock Racing TV. So he had this tip over. He didn't truly roll all the way over and then was able to save it. I still don't really understand how. I think maybe that rock that he was sliding up on helped him out a little bit.
Yeah.
That wedge-shaped rock was probably just what he needed. An impressive save for sure, and still got the fastest time right now.
And again, watching him immediately throw it in reverse and then he hit the gas. And when he hits the gas to go forward, you see those tires instantly stretch. He is full tilt ripping forward.
All right, we've got Mr. Mark Carpenter on the line.
He's racing bipolar. I like that he has on the side he has a hand. If you notice close, it's missing a finger because he's actually missing a finger in real life. So he said, I put that on there because my friends thought it was cool. So he's like, I did that, which is kind of cool because it makes it very personable. Again, he went to the far, kind of dodged those trees and went between them.
All right, that's Mark Carpenter taking a break. Pause for the cause. Man, you should have
I'm not sure what caused the buggy to shut off right now. He did take that left line, which we haven't seen as much of.
Getting a great shot of the crowd. All the buggies lined up there. I'm not sure exactly what happened. You can see the window net coming open.
Uh-oh, that's never a good sign.
So I don't know if it can't start or what the issue was. Looks like Dan Moman there in the bottom corner of your screen. Walking up, asking what he needs.
Oh, it's not looking good for Mark Carpenter. Once the window net comes down and the helmet's off,
It's not.
that's never a good sign.
They said he's harnessing back up. Maybe he
Oh.
maybe he thought he was off course or something.
Well, luckily he did have a good run yesterday in the
Yeah.
UTV class. I believe he had a 4th place finish. So that's something for the weekend.
Yeah.
Hopefully he can get started back up and still be able to make a couple passes here in the
Yeah.
bouncer class as well.
And he just landed, and it sounded like the buggy shut off, or maybe he shut it off if he saw something. Again, if, say he lost oil pressure, he might have went ahead and shut it off just to save the motor. Because these motors are not cheap.
No.
As Jay. There it goes. Looks like it's moving again. Not sure exactly what happened there, but he is moving. Again, hopefully maybe he thought he was off course, or maybe it died and he couldn't get it started. But I don't know. Sometimes you got to just shut them all off, start them back up, and they can take off again. See what he does here.
It's like the old PlayStation, Sometimes you just got to turn it off, turn it back on.
Yep. I was thinking like the old Nintendos. You had to take it
Oh,
off.
yeah. Old Super
Blow in your
Nintendo.
cartridge a little
Blow
bit.
in the cartridge.
Slide back in. You're good to go. I don't hear him just absolutely flooring it right now. So, and those of you who know Mark, he's here to have a good time. He's here to have a good time. So,
It's a great view of the short course section out here. Well, when you name your bouncer bipolar.
yeah. There he goes. He is getting on it now.
Maybe it just, wasn't feeling it
Yeah.
today.
He is.
He's trying to make up for some lost time here. Come on, Mark.
Definitely doing well. Again, the last big obstacle he has is getting up this hill. Now, obviously, coming down can be kind of treacherous, but he can always take his time and just slowly let gravity help him out a little bit. Oh, and there he goes. Oh! That is way too much hang time.
Woo! Riding that wheelie.
Him and Brandon Davis both just kind of let that rear end hang longer than comfortable.
Sometimes that's about all you can do.
Yeah.
Ride it out.
All right, and he's getting a finish out of it.
And that's a 293.196
Wow.
for Mark Carpenter. Definitely glad to see him be able to continue his run and get a finish out of it. Thank you guys for tuning in with us here on Hillside Live. We are at the Good Evening Ranch in Canvas, West Virginia for the Mickey Thompson National Rock Racing Association round 6 already of the season. Matt, we are over halfway through.
We are.
Wow. Well, like I said, time flies when you're having fun.
It does. It does.
This weekend is presented by RaceLine Wheels, so a big shout out and thank you to them as always, and to all of our sponsors for being amazing and helping us do what we do here. And we talk about it a lot, but it takes a village to put on an event like this, and we are very thankful for everybody that is part of that. Definitely want to give a shout out to our media members, to our pit team, Justin Hoback there on the starting line, recovery crew. speaking of starting line, who do we have on there?
Ben
Is this Ben
Driscoll.
Driscoll?
Yep.
All right.
Came around there. I seen him kind of whipping around. Doesn't have a wrap on there yet. He just picked this buggy up, I think, last race with his last race.
Ah.
Or Rush. I think he picked it up right before Rush. So he's getting more seat time, feeling more comfortable with it.
So he's still incognito
Yes.
in there. Maybe that's what we should call the bouncer.
Incognito.
Incognito.
Yeah. Definitely sounding very healthy over there.
All right, here we go with Ben Driscoll. Clock is hot.
Throttle stuck.
Oh,
This throttle, you could hear it rev when he put it in neutral. You could hear it rev. There it goes. Smart of him just to click it to neutral. You can hear him feathering the throttle, just going through the rocks. Again, kind of picking his line here, being smart.
and he chose to go around that second boulder.
Again, you can see that back end kind of donkey kicking right there where that ravine was, where they filled in. Kind of where Cooper
That's
Bentley
where Cooper
got a little crazy
snagged
with
him
it.
earlier. Coming out of the short course and back through the first rocky wooded section.
That's lane 1. We'll be going through lane 1 and lane 4 this weekend in the bouncer class.
I hope the drivers have been studying their maps of the
Yes.
courses. All right, he's headed into the second rocky section now. The rock garden, if you will.
Yeah, it really is like a rock garden. And again, I love the overcast from all the trees there, giving some shade. Coming around, having fun, enjoying it. Oh, a little bit of bounce. You can see that front right tire, it's just in the air, just hanging there.
He's going to need a little more. He's going to need to roll into it with a little more than that, I think, for this spot. All that dirt at the bottom doesn't make it super crawlable.
Yeah. Yeah, see what he's going to be able to do there. Kind of get down there and reset.
Looks like we got a little
bit of
smoke coming
there.
out there. It always takes time to work kinks out of a new buggy.
Yeah.
Anybody can tell you that. Everybody's been there. If it's a new build, then there's all the mechanical gremlins, sometimes we call them, and
So close.
bugs to work out. And even if it's not a new build, it's new to you.
Yes, yes.
And you got to get used to what it feels like and how to best drive it.
Again, he's trying to get lined up there just to have a good line. You know, again, his line that he's feeling, a little bit of smoke still coming from the motor, a little bit of line he's feeling. I'm sure that motor is pretty warm by now. These motors are usually pretty dialed up as far as horsepower goes. again.
And you guys, you've probably heard us talk about it before, but when you are fully strapped in to the bouncer in the driver's seat, you've got your Hans device on, which is your neck protection. You've got a full face helmet, and you can't really turn your head around and see. And that's obviously on purpose for safety reasons. The Hans device protects your neck by keeping it from being able to make too much motion around. So when you're trying to back up, though, that can make it a little difficult sometimes. Yeah. All you got is your peripheral vision, pretty much. Some drivers have a rear view mirror. We actually have a rear view backup camera in the Avenger.
Yeah.
It's pretty handy.
Oh!
Oh, no!
He tried to upright
well,
it.
Oh, man.
Dang it.
Yeah, he got a little bit of a tough spot when trying to back up there, like we were saying. I'm sure he probably could not see what was going on behind him. And, man, that's tough, but
look,
it's racing.
We have like two of our UTV drivers over there trying to flip him over, and they almost had it, which is awesome.
So you probably noticed all those in fire suits running out there. Those are our drivers that are always willing to jump in and lend a hand on recovery. A lot of our drivers, you know, if they're UTV drivers and they race on Fridays, then they're here to watch on Saturdays, and they put on that yellow vest and or recovery shirt, and they, you know, commit to helping with recovery as well. We talk a lot about the camaraderie of the sport and how that's one of the really the great things about it and what sets it apart from so many other sports. And not only is everyone highly competitive and obviously racing to win out here, but their friends, their buddies, their pals at the end of the day. Everybody will help everybody, you know, putting a buggy back together, helping with a recovery, swapping parts, you know, staying up late, helping each other put things back together so they can race again the next day. Definitely one of the coolest things about the sport, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And it's very obvious. You can see it out there every time we've got drivers running out to help another with recovery.
Yeah, and again, here's our replay, brought to you by Rock Racing TV. Again, caught that rock and just had a little bit of sideways momentum. And you could tell he hit the gas to try to uproot it, but just couldn't quite do it. And it's literally sitting right there.
Probably best seeing as his motor's already smoking a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, literally, you can see the cage just barely touching the ground. I mean, literally, it's sitting perfectly horizontal, so. But they'll get it put back on all four wheels, and we got a few drivers left.
Hey, he's still got that seat time.
He does. He does. And again, he's been getting more and more comfortable after, I think it was Rush. After Rush, he got out and played on the hill for quite a while, and really just got real comfortable with it and having fun, and you know, having some play time after the race was over, which was a very muddy race this year at Rush Off-Road Park in Rush, Kentucky.
We've had a couple of those so far this year.
Yeah, like. I think 5 of our 6 races so far have been just muddy messes.
All right, we've got just a handful of drivers left for Course 1 of the RCB Axle Bouncer Cup. Right now, Tim Cameron is still in the lead with a 108. Our top 5 hasn't changed in a while. Clint Garrison in second right now with a 115. Connor Flynn third with a 117. Cooper Bentley fourth with a 118.1. And Nick Reich rounding out top 5 currently with a 118.2.
Yeah. Again, it's just a fierce competition out there today.
And on such a long course as this, man, it's still so crazy to me how tight the times can be.
It really is incredible.
Meg, that was Ben Driscoll that just rolled over, and they are recovering him off the course now. I hope you guys were able to join us for the racing action yesterday. We had our UTV stock and cup classes and VIN class. Tim Cameron took the win in UTV Cup, Dylan Dowler in UTV stock, and Charles Carris in VIN class.
Yeah, it was a good day. Great day of racing. Again, the course was very similar to what the Bouncers are racing today. Looks like they're getting them out of the way there. Keith's down there. Looks like Keith mostly pulling him out of the way. I'm not sure if he broke something or maybe they just couldn't get it to start.
Yes, shout out and thank you as always to Mr. Keith Toolman
Yes.
for the recovery artist that he is.
Yes.
Grateful to have him out here. I know the drivers sure appreciate
Yes,
it.
we do.
You can see Colby Reich over there by the 8-up buggy. Colby's got a stunt double this weekend.
He does. He does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you guys will find out a little more about that
Yeah.
when he pulls up to the starting line. We'll keep you in suspense.
We do. And if I had to have a stunt double, that's a pretty good one.
Colby made a pretty good choice. Yep.
That's all right. He did okay.
He's
Yeah,
giving him
thanks. Yeah,
some
thanks,
last
Jack.
minute
Thanks.
last minute pointers about how Colby thinks he should hit the hill,
Yeah.
or else maybe about how to grow a nice mustache. I don't know.
One of the two.
What do you think he's telling him?
Yeah. One of the two. Colby does have a great mustache. He really does. He's got that true firefighter stash, you know. Yeah. Somebody was asking about Jack, and I said, no. His stunt double's already racing for his own points this year.
Yep, Jack is out in the middle of the Atlantic this weekend. He said, enjoying a cruise.
That's what's funny. He said, yesterday on the live, he's like, I'm in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah, you got to take vacation sometime.
Matt's still a little salty about Jack Porter's choice in stunt driver
Yeah.
last year.
Finishing in the top 11 just doesn't have the same ring to it, okay?
It was Tim Cameron, guys.
Yeah.
Tim Cameron was the stunt driver. All right, guys, we're working on getting that course completely cleared off. Scott Marr, Brandon Davis had a time of 141.653. Man, we're enjoying some beautiful temperatures this
really
weekend
is.
here in West Virginia. Very nice change of pace for most of us. Coming from some hot and humid, sweltering states. Lexi, yes, Mark Carpenter did go. We are actually hearing now that he is going to get a rerun at the end of the race. We've got a couple drivers still to go, and then Mark is going to get a second run. We want to completely rule out any possibility that it was the RII box that all drivers are required to run. That's a remote ignition interrupter. It means that we can cut off the buggy remotely if something were to go wrong and there was an emergency, stuck throttle, anything that, you know, could be dangerous potentially to driver or spectators. We have the option or ability to be able to cut off the buggy. And we want to make sure, extra sure, that that wasn't what potentially could have caused his buggy to cut off in the course on his first run. So we're going to give him the chance for a second run at the end. We do have, we've got 8-up, we've got Daniel Heckley, we've got Clayton Smith still to run first. And then Matt Holt.
Matt Holt. That guy.
Can't forget about Matt Holt.
I see Ford Play's got a flat tire over here.
These rocks are tough on tires, man.
They are. I was like, man, that buggy looks like it's really low to the ground. Oh, it's got a flat.
A few inches lower than usual. We've got Clayton Smith on the line, patiently waiting to unleash Old Gold Rush Reclaimed on this course.
All right. While they get him cleared off, we're going to cut to a quick commercial break. and we'll be back to the racing action right after these messages.
RCV Performance specializes in axle manufacturing. We've been doing this for a little over 80 years on a variety of different products. We really specialized into the racing and rock bouncing and all that about 15, 20 years ago, got into the specialized aftermarket automotive stuff, and we love it. So what sets RCV apart from the rest is we use a CV, whereas that replaces the U-joint in solid axle applications. So your custom 14 bolt, Dana 80, Dana 60, 44, Jeep JK, everything that has a solid front axle, we'll replace that U-joint, put a CV in, which will give you a smoother power delivery, stronger at angle, and overall better performance. So we make RCVs for everything from Suzuki Samurai to Jeep to Toyota, all the way to Rockwell, custom, whatever, you name it, we got it. So reach out to us, rcvperformance.com. Check us out online.
The Mickey Thompson Premium Mud Terrain is on the road and full of undisputed attitude. The Baja Boss MT. No compromises, ever. We are purpose-built tires for truck and Jeep enthusiasts everywhere. All mud tires are not created equal, and here's the proof. Powerfly XD construction, asymmetrical tread design, extreme side biters, and more. Find your tire size today at MickeyThompsonTires.com.
Mickey Thompson Tires announces a new American mud terrain legend, the new Baja Legend MTZ. 35 different sizes, and one is just waiting for your rig. The Baja Legend MTZ.
All right, we are back here for the 6th race of the National Rock Racing Association. We're here at Good Evening Ranch in West Virginia.
All right, guys, we've got Clayton Smith on the line. We have just a handful of drivers left for Course 1 of the RCV Axle Bouncer Cup class. We've had an awesome day of racing so far here at the Good Evening Ranch in Canvas, West Virginia. Thank you guys for joining us. Hope you're enjoying the racing action as much as we are.
Heck yeah. Clayton Smith, Mr. Horsepower himself, out there getting her done.
Clayton finished 5th a few weeks ago at our last event at Hawk Pride, and he is coming into this weekend 4th in points. He's got 411. He's behind Daniel Heckley, Cooper Bentley, and Tim Cameron.
See that rear end kind of skipping over. Is he? Oh, wow. A little bit of donkey kick there, too. Again, we really haven't seen anybody launch out like we saw on some of the side-by-sides yesterday.
We definitely saw them airing out in the UTV classes, but these bouncers aren't leaving the ground too much. Oh, he's rolling right over the rocks out on the short course.
Out there just monster trucking it. Again, taking his time, picking good lines.
Not too much time, though. He's ripping through here.
Just jumping off that ledge.
Man, fighting his way through these rocks. It's not easy to pick a line through a rock garden like this when there is literally no level ground. There's no space between any of these rocks.
Oh, there we go. Again, last race, we saw him just come up and just monster truck it. I mean, just absolute power through. Power through there, just ripping it.
And there it is.
Out. 117.980 for Mr. Clayton Smith.
Heck of a run from Clayton. That is a, let's see, 4th place time right now, right behind Connor Flynn. Connor had a 117.0. Clayton now with a 117.9. Tim Cameron still in the lead with a 108, followed by Clint Garrison with a 115. Connor Flynn, 117.0. Clayton Smith, 117.9. And then we've got Cooper Bentley with a 118.1. And I got to give, we're going to go all the way out to 6th place because Nick Reich has a 118.2.
Wow. Literally.
Here we go with Daniel Heckley.
Get out there just blasting through that course.
Daniel coming into the weekend 3rd in points with 436. Jumping right up, the Super Grip step up.
That has been throwing a lot of guys off.
He got into the trees a little bit. Yeah, right up there at the top, there are 2 trees that make it a little difficult to go right up and over. Daniel also finished 3rd in the bouncer class at our last event at Hawk Pride.
Ooh, aired it out a little bit. I think he's been the biggest jump we've seen so far today up that big ramp.
I think Daniel's wanting to move off of that 3rd place position that he's been at for a while now. Move on up on the podium a little bit.
Definitely making quick work of that big open section. Again, to being able to come back, calm it down a little bit. I think we've seen everybody go around that rock today.
Well, with only 13 points separating him from Cooper Bentley, who's in 2nd place right now, he's not wanting to leave anything out on the course.
Again, using that rear steer around the corners there, whipping around a little bit. Again, being very careful, being smart about it.
It's another TC-built buggy. We know it's a highly capable buggy. We've seen both Timmy and Daniel drive the wheels off this thing.
Literally drive the wheels off this thing. Right there.
Oh, clawing his way to the top. He made it.
And again, you can see him when they get that front end over. Again, just absolutely just monster trucking through there. Oh, wow. Just blasted that rock, rolling it over.
The time to beat right now is a 1:08.
He's going to be close. Just
Come on.
back. Wow.
124.836. You know, he definitely had a real fast run through the rock garden, but I think what hung him up was that initial up and over that super grip step up in the first rock garden section, I think. Definitely still a great run from Daniel Heckley. That was a 124.836.
All right.
We've got 8 up on the line now.
Yes. And stunt double driver, Mr. Wade Good.
Wade Good back in a bouncer. We haven't seen him out here for us or with us in a while. Great to have him back out here on the course.
He is flying through there. He was down here playing last night for a while. I know I came and played around this course. Also made the big loop. Had a blast through it, but Wade, he made this loop probably half a dozen times. I mean, really pushing in to see what he could, how much speed he could get out of the buggy, how hard he could push it.
Hey, he's going to get every point that he possibly can for Colby Reich today. Wade, definitely a top contender in seasons past in multiple classes. Has taken some time off, so it's good to see him back out here. We're glad to have him. He still come out and helps with recovery and hangs out with his race fam, but haven't seen him in the bouncer out on the course in a while. So,
and just using the heck out of that rear steer right now. Wow. Again, just thrashing through that rock section.
I think the old rivalry between Wade and Timmy is still alive and well. Wade is on a mission, a friendly rivalry,
yes,
I should point out. He is on a mission to take that top time away from Timmy right now. It's tough to say. It's definitely going to be a good, smooth, and fast run. I don't know if it's going to beat that 108. Let's see.
Oh, man. Oh, buddy. Holy cow. 107.676 for Mr. Wade Good.
He did it.
Coming in 1 second faster than Mr. Tim Cameron.
Nicely done. Colby, I think you did a good job picking your stunt driver for this weekend.
Not even a second. Half a second. Half a second faster.
What a run from Wade Good. Do you think he's missed being in behind the wheel?
Yeah. Yeah, when you come out and lay out the fastest time of the day, that's pretty incredible.
Still got it. All right. That wraps up our regular list here for Course 1. We do have Mark Carpenter getting into position on the starting line in that RaceLine starting gate right now. He is going to rerun from earlier. We want to make absolutely certain that it wasn't a possibility of the RII box, misbehaving for him. So we're going to give him a second run and be totally sure that it wasn't the box. We want him to have every chance to get a good solid run out here, as we do for all of our drivers. I mean, we recognize the commitment of time and energy and money and travel that it takes to come and be part of all these events. And we want everybody to have every chance to come out here and make their best run possible. So,
again, definitely making quick work of that first rock garden there. Just getting out there, ripping through there. Again, Mark is a very fierce driver. Wow!
Oh, no!
Oh, no.
Oh, too fierce.
Oh, man. Dang it. Dang it. Right there, Stink. Dang it.
Oh, man. Hate to see that for Mark Carpenter. He was on a mission. All right, we've got Matt Holt heading down to his buggy. He's going to get suited up and make his run. And while we let Matt head on out and get suited up, I've got Wade Good up here in the booth with me. Wade, dude, what a run.
It's wild. This course is unbelievably rough. Time I got back to this straight stretch, I was out of breath.
Oh, no, that's only halfway through.
I ain't done this in a while. People think you just sitting there holding the steering wheel. It wears you out.
What was your last official race?
Finals.
Was it finals?
I raced
You haven't filled in for anyone since then?
First race.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's a little bit, but hey, clearly you still got it.
First time driving that buggy.
Did you do any playing around last night in 8-Up? Or did you just jump in this morning and hope for the best?
No, I played around last night a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, that's not much, all things considered. So, man, heck of a run. You got a 107.6 edged out. Timmy had a 108. Timmy did have a pretty crazy save. Did you see that? Were you able to see it down there?
Yeah.
Fun stuff. Man, how does it feel?
Feels good.
How does it feel being back? Yeah.
I miss it. So
yeah.
I feel good.
I bet.
But I'm glad to be back, but it's just a one-time thing. So.
Yeah. Well, now that everyone knows you're a stunt driver for hire, then maybe we'll see you back out here a little bit more.
Maybe.
You got a brand new baby at home.
Yep.
Taking up a little bit of time and energy. How's he doing?
He's doing awesome. I miss him like crazy.
Yeah.
First time I've left him, so.
Oh.
Yeah. It's been hard.
Oh, that's cute.
I'll be back tonight, so.
Yeah.
It'll be all right.
You don't live too far from here?
About 4.5 hours.
Oh, yeah, that's not too bad. All right. But this was only course 1. So what is your game plan for course 2? After being out there and, getting on the course, has your thoughts changed at all, your game plan, or the same
I'm
thing?
going to make a few shock adjustments after running, because it's mostly the same thing other than this one hill. So we're going to make a few turns on the shocks and go from there. I think we'll be good.
Yeah. All right. Yep. Well, good luck. You got any shout-outs you want to give? Anything to anybody at home?
Colby, my wife and family for watching the baby. Let me come do this. So
yep.
Thank everybody.
All right. Good luck on course 2. All right, guys, they are working on getting Mark recovered off the course. Matt's getting suited up to make his run. We got the thumbs up from Mark, just to make sure everybody knows. So we are going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll be back to wrap up course 1 with the RCV Axle Bouncer class.
All right, so this is our XT tire, and this is the 35, 10, 15. It's the biggest tire that we make for a UTV. And this is the road compound. We have 2 different compounds. As you can see, it's kind of hard to squeeze these together. This is going to last you a lot longer if you're just doing trail riding on asphalt to get to the trails. If you're trailering and you're only going to be on trails, then I would recommend our trail compound. And it's much softer. You grip and grab those rocks really well. That's what the majority of our drivers that we sponsor use the XT trail compound. But we also have our amp tire, and this is a 6-ply tire. The XT is an 8-ply. It's got really tough sidewalls, and in fact, one of our drivers took first place in the Bounty Series last race in Hot Springs with this tire. So those are the 2 main tires that all racers use. And you can get any of these tires and the wheels that they're mounted on through Rock Life as well.
RCV Performance specializes in axle manufacturing. We've been doing this for a little over 80 years on a variety of different products. We really specialized into the racing and rock bouncing and all that about 15, 20 years ago, got into the specialized aftermarket automotive stuff, and we love it. So what sets RCV apart from the rest is we use a CV, whereas that replaces the U-joint in solid axle applications. So your custom 14 bolt, Dana 80, Dana 60, 44, Jeep JK, everything that has a solid front axle, we'll replace that U-joint, put a CV in, which will give you a smoother power delivery, stronger at angle, and overall better performance. So we make RCVs for everything from Suzuki Samurai to Jeep to Toyota, all the way to Rockwell, custom, whatever, you name it, we got it. So reach out to us, rcvperformance.com. Check us out online.
All right, everybody, welcome back. We are working on, almost done with getting Mark Carpenter's buggy recovered off the course. He did have that unfortunate rollover right on the outside of the loop on the short course section. And we've got Matt Holt getting suited up and making his way over to the starting line. Matt is going to wrap up course 1 for our RCV Axle bouncer class. After Matt's run, I will give you guys our top 5 rundown. We will take a quick afternoon break, and then we'll be back with our youth class and UTV bounty, and then, of course, round 2 for the bouncers. Everybody's getting back into positions now. We had our recovery headed down and helping out Mark on the other section of the course. Thank you guys for joining us here today on Hillside Live. We are racing in West Virginia this weekend at the Good Evening Ranch, enjoying some beautiful weather and temperatures out here. This is round 6 of the Mickey Thompson NRRA already for the 2024 season, which is kind of hard to believe that we are more than halfway through. If you guys want to see the schedule of events for the rest of the year, you can head to nationalrockracing.com. It's all posted there. You can also find some fun stuff like driver bios, all the point standings, and some merch on there, and that's nationalrockracing.com. And if you think this looks like a lot of fun and you've got some kind of rig at home that you want to try out on this race course, you can find all the guidelines and requirements on there for the different classes that we run. We have 6 different classes running, so a little something for everybody. If you think you might want to try it out, come on. We love having new names, new faces out here. All right, we got Matt rolling up to the starting gate. That's not Matt. That's Knox. Matt's behind him. Matt Holt in the High Society Off-Road Rock Bouncer. There's plenty of rocks to bounce over out here today. What do you guys think about this course that we have here at the Good Evening Ranch? I like it. It's nice and long. It's got the fast, I'm calling it the short course section out in the field. And then, of course, it's got the very technical, very rocky rock garden, 2 sections in the woods. I'm sure that's a little rougher on the drivers, but it does make for some good racing. We can change the pace a little bit and have both the technical and the speed side of things. So a little hard on parts, a little hard on drivers. Might be maybe a few sore necks tomorrow, but hey, that's what we wear Hans devices for. What do you guys think of the course here today? Cliff, we are having some technical difficulties today. I'm glad you mentioned that. We are recording everything, and it will be posted in a few days. You guys can go back and watch the whole thing uninterrupted. We are having some technical difficulties not on our end. It's not that much that we have control over right now, unfortunately. Taylor is working hard in here to keep everything rolling as smoothly as possible. So thank you guys for bearing with us today. And again, we are recording, and we'll be able to post that as well. All right, this is Matt Holt on the line. Clock is hot. Let's get it, Matt. Rolling up to that super grip step up. Come on, Matt. Up and over. There's one of those trees we were talking about earlier. They really are in the way up there. Good thing Matt's got these nice Mickey Thompsons on there to help him hook and dig and grip in all these rocks. All right, Matt, open her up. Here we go, up and over the RaceLine ramp. Matt has been a huge part of the Rock Racing TV team now for, man, I forget how many years. Taylor, what do you think? 8 years? 8 years maybe that he's been racing, and maybe 4 years now I think that he's been part of the media team here. Of course, you guys know that he is that he co-hosts the show with me. Usually you see him and hear him up here in the booth when he's not out there on the race course. I think Matt is more passionate about this sport than almost anybody else out here, which is, it's so much fun, the energy that he brings and his dedication and commitment to the sport, to the series. He's all about it. We all appreciate that so much. He's always got some snacky snacks to share. Which, who doesn't like having a friend with snacks, right? Snacks make the world go round. Making quick work of this second rock garden in here. Coming up to the moment of truth here. All right, Matt, back it on up and hit this hill like you mean it. All right, Matt. So pedal on the right. Come on now. So it's hard to tell on camera, as always, but you're just going to have to take my word for it. The hill is steeper, much steeper in person. It looks like it's wanting to throw him over to the right, too. And I don't know if this is something he's going to be able to crawl. I think he's going to need to hit it with a lot more speed. Tree. We were talking earlier about how hard it is to be able to see what's behind you is when you're trying to back up. Once you've got you're strapped in with your 5-point harness system in there, you got a Hans device on. The Hans limits your mobility on your neck, obviously for safety reasons, but it also means it can make it a little more difficult when you're backing up and trying not to hit the trees behind you as well. Looks like Matt decided to call it quits on the hill, save the buggy for course 2, making his way back through the rock garden. It's a good looking wrap on that buggy. All right, guys, and that does wrap up course 1 for the RCV Axle Bouncer class. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys our top 5 rundown from course 1. Wade Good running for Colby Reich had the fastest time with a 1:07, followed by Tim Cameron with a 1:08. Clint Garrison with a 1:15, Connor Flynn with a 1:17.0, and Clayton Smith with a 1:17.9. That's your top 5 from course 1. We will be back with more racing action, of course, after our short afternoon break. We will have the UTV youth class and bounty class course 2 when we come back, and then, of course, round 2 for the bouncers. We are planning to start off the line with our youth class at about 12:30 Eastern time, so we will see you guys then.